here likes resistance? I don't know anybody who likes resistance. I mean, it hurts, there's pressure, there's pain, but the truth of the matter is that when we experience moments and seasons of resistance, we always come out stronger. Today, I'm looking at Moses and how he had resistance on all sides, not just from Pharaoh, but even the Israelites who found themselves in a place where their spirits were broken because of the harsh slavery that they were under by the Egyptians. And Pharaoh is like, no, we know the story. He's not gonna let the people go after countless times because of a hardened heart himself. And so Moses has to choose to get up every time to go and obey what the Lord has instructed him to do. Today, I want to talk about what it looks like when we have resistance from the people that are around us. And also, what do we do when what we see with our natural eye doesn't look like what God has spoken? As far as resistance, when it comes to the Israelites and Pharaoh, there will be people in our lives around us. When God has spoken a word to us that resist or question what we are actually supposed to do. I have a personal story of this where after college, I took my first job at Mattress Firm and it was in sales, and it was really great for the skills that I learned in selling. But at the end of my time, I knew it was time to go. I knew that the Lord was putting it on my heart to move on and release me from the job. And I told my dad, and to many practical parents, you don't leave a job unless you have a job lined up. And so I ended up just following through with what the Lord told me to do. And the very next week, I got a call from the job that I so desired, that I wanted. I don't say that as a formula. I do not say that's for you to, if you don't like your job, to leave and that God is going to open a door the next week. No. What I'm saying is that on the road to what God has promised us, there's going to be resistance from people around us, the Israelites, or people in authority like Pharaoh, that are going to question or going to put up their arms and say, no, you should not do this. And what are you going to do? Will you stand on the promise that God has spoken, on the word that God has spoken in a moment of resistance? Now that we know that we've got to press past the resistance to continue taking territory and ground, what do we do when we are taking steps of obedience and yet it doesn't look like what God has spoken? This is what happens when Moses is continually going to Pharaoh, and Pharaoh is continuously hardening his heart. Will we be able to encourage ourselves in the Lord and remember our why? Why did we even begin this journey with the Lord to begin with? And then there's two things that I think are key when we're in this place where what we see doesn't look like what God promised. Will we be able to, one, do a self-evaluation? Is there anything that I need to do where I need to grow? Any limitations that I have to break off through prayer so that I can continue moving forward when it doesn't look like what God has promised? Or is there literally an obstacle, a mountain in my way where I do need strategic prayers to be able to uproot the mountain to be cast into the sea? It can either be us or it can be a physical or some type of obstacle that's in front of us that is stopping us from taking ground and territory. The key is, in a moment of resistance and in a moment of it not looking like what we thought, will we still be obedient? Obedience is such a key part in walking on this journey to possessing all that God has for you. So do not give up in a moment of resistance or in a moment where it doesn't look like what you thought. The key is to continue going on with perseverance until we get all that God has promised us. I'll talk to you soon.